Hello dear students, welcome all of you in your English class. Today we will discuss about the first lesson from our 12th syllabus, and the title of this lesson is 1.1, An Astrologer's Day. Students, it's a very interesting and beautiful story about an astrologer. So get ready for the discussion of this lesson. Students, now you are aware about the title of our first lesson, that is An Astrologer's Day. So this lesson is written by R.K. Narayan, a well-known Indian writer. And you know that this lesson deals with the story of an astrologer. की या व्हिडिओच्या माध्यमातून आपण 12वी इंग्रजीचा आपला जो काही पहिला लेसन आहे अन ॲस्ट्रोलॉजर्स डे तो डिस्कस करणार आहोत. Students, before the discussion of the actual lesson, let's see the meaning of an astrologer. की या लेसनला सुरुवात करण्यापूर्वी ॲस्ट्रोलॉजर म्हणजे काय, ॲस्ट्रोलॉजरचा अर्थ आपण थोडक्यात जाणून घेऊयात. Actually, an astrologer means a person who studies the stars, practices astrology, and who professes means foretells the future events of life. So here you can see the image of an astrologer on your screen. की ॲस्ट्रोलॉजर म्हणजे ग्रहतारांचा अभ्यास करणारा, भविष्य वर्तवणारा आणि त्याचबरोबर ज्योतिष विद्येचा अभ्यास करणारा ज्योतिषी होय. So now you are familiar with the meaning of the word astrologer. So let us discuss about the information of the writer with the help of next slide. Students, as you know that this lesson 1.1, An Astrologer's Day, is written by R.K. Narayan. So let us see some information about the writer R.K. Narayan. की या स्लाईडच्या माध्यमातून आपण R.K. नारायण यांच्याविषयी थोडक्यात माहिती करून घेऊयात. R.K. Narayan was born on 1906 and he died in 2001. Actually, his full name was Rasipuram Krishnaswamy Iyer Narayan Swamy, and he was one of the best known novelists among Indian English writers. की R.K. नारायण हे प्रख्यात भारतीय लेखक व उत्कृष्ट कादंबरीकार आहेत आणि त्यांचं पूर्ण नाव रासीपुरम कृष्णस्वामी अय्यर नारायण स्वामी असं आहे. He is the author of 14 novels, 5 volumes of short stories and number of travelogues, and has a collection of non-fiction to his credit. So this person had created different novels. He also wrote down some short stories and some travelogues also. की R.K. नारायण यांनी 14 कादंबरी, 5 लघुकथा संग्रह आणि विविध प्रवास वर्णने लिहिली आहेत. Then he also wrote his memoir. Students, here the word memoir, it means autobiography, and this memoir is called as My Days and it was written in 1975. की R.K. नारायण यांनी माय डेज हे जीवनचरित्र किंवा संस्मरणही लिहिलेले आहे. Narayan created the imaginary town of Malgudi, where realistic characters in a typically Indian setting lived amid unpredictable events. So this person or this well-known writer R.K. Narayan is also famous for his imaginary town, and name of that town is Malgudi. की R.K. नारायण यांचे वास्तववादी परंतु काल्पनिक असणारे मालगुडी नावाचे शहरही प्रसिद्ध आहे. His stories are grounded in compassionate humanism and celebrated the humor and energy of ordinary life. So with the help of his stories, he is focusing on humanism. He was also discussing about humor and what is happening in the life of ordinary people. की त्यांच्या कथांमधून मानवतावाद, विनोदबुद्धी आणि सामान्य जीवनशैली प्रकाशित होते. His stories are characterized by a simple style and subtle humor. So he's world famous for his simple style of writing, and he is also famous for his humor included in different stories. की आर के नारायण यांची साधी लिखाण शैली आणि सूक्ष्म विनोद याचा वापर त्यांनी त्यांच्या कथांमध्ये केलेला आपणास दिसून येतो. So in this way students, R K Narayan is really a world famous Indian writer. Then Narayan was introduced to American readers in 1952 by the Michigan State University Press. की मिशिगन स्टेट युनिव्हर्सिटी प्रेसने आर के नारायण यांच्या विविध कथा, कादंबरी व इतर अनेक पुस्तके प्रकाशित करून अमेरिकन वाचकांना त्यांची ओळख करून दिली आहे. सो दिस बुक्स इन्क्लूड्स स्वामी अँड फ्रेंड्स, द बॅचलर ऑफ आर्ट्स written in 1937, The Dark Room written in 1938, An Astrologer's Day and Other Stories in 1947, Mr. Sampath in 1949, The Financial Expert in 1954, Waiting for the Mahatma in 1955, and Famous The Guide in 1958, and many other books. So this Michigan State University Press had published different books written by R. K. Narayan. Students, R. K. Narayan's novel The Guide, it won him the Sahitya Academy Award in 1961 and the most coveted literary honor in India. His writing is distinguished by humor and unoffending irony, a unique Indianness, and a simplicity which is utterly charming and authentic. की आर के नारायण यांच्या द गाईड या कादंबरीला भारतातील सर्वात महत्त्वाचा साहित्य अकॅडमी पुरस्कार मिळालेला आहे आणि त्यांच्या या लिखाणामध्ये आपणास विनोद, विडंबना, भारतीयता आणि साधेपणा जाणवतो. Narayan typically portrays the peculiarities of human relationships and the ironies of Indian daily life. His style is graceful, marked by genial humor, elegance and simplicity. की नारायण यांच्या लिखाणातून मानवी नात्यांची विचित्रता, त्यानंतर दैनंदिन भारतीय जीवन मोहकपणे चित्रित केले आहे. तसेच त्यांची लिखाण शैली ही अतिशय उत्कृष्ट, साधी, अभिजातपणा असणारी आहे. सो इन दिस वे स्टुडंट्स, वी डिस्कस्ड अबाउट द इन्फॉर्मेशन ऑफ द रायटर गिवन इन द टेक्स्ट. So now get ready for the discussion of the actual lesson. As you know that the title of our lesson is An Astrologer's Day. की एका ज्योतिषाच्या आयुष्यातील एका दिवसाचं वर्णन किंवा त्याच्या आयुष्यातील दिनक्रम इथे वर्णन केलेला आहे. So our lesson begins with like this. Punctually at midday, he opened his bag and spread out his professional equipment, which consisted of a dozen cowrie shells. Cowrie shells means a sea animal shells. Then a square of piece of cloth with obscure means difficult to understand, and mystic means something that reveals to supernatural powers and is not easily understood. Charts on it, a notebook and a bundle of Palmera writing. So the lesson is telling us that there was a person, and you know that this lesson deals with an astrologer. So writer is describing about astrologer. की आपला हा लेसन ज्योतिषाविषयी आहे आणि त्या ज्योतिषाचंच वर्णन या लेसनच्या सुरुवातीला लेखक करत आहे. सो the pronoun he is used for an astrologer. की एक ज्योतिषी आहे आणि त्याच्या रोजच्या नित्य नियमाप्रमाणे त्याने आपली बॅग उघडली आहे आणि त्याची जी काही व्यवसायाची सर्व साधन सामग्री आहे ती तो बाहेर काढून मांडत आहे. आणि त्याच्या या व्यवसायाच्या साधन सामग्रीमध्ये कोणत्या गोष्टींचा समावेश आहे तर कावरी म्हणजे ज्याला आपण मराठीमध्ये कवडी असं म्हणतो. त्यानंतर स्क्वेअर पीस ऑफ क्लोथ विथ ऑब्स्क्युअर मिस्टिक चार्ट्स ऑन इट, की त्याच्यासमोर कवड्या आहेत. त्यानंतर एक विविध आकृत्या काढलेला कापडाचा एक चौकोनी तुकडा आहे. देन ही हॅड हिज नोटबुक अँड अ बंडल ऑफ पाल्मेरा रायटिंग, आणि त्याचबरोबर त्याची स्वतःची ज्योतिषाची एक वही आणि ताडपत्रावरती लिखाणकाम केलेलं काही बंडल्स आहेत. So in this way, this astrologer, he spread out his professional equipment. Now let's see what happened after this. की आपल्या व्यवसायाची सर्व साधन सामुग्री या ज्योतिषाने समोर उघडून ठेवलेली आहे. So students, here you can see some images of those equipments used by the astrologer, that cowrie shells, then obscure mystic charts, astrologer's notebook and a bundle of palmyra writing. की या स्लाईडच्या माध्यमातून तुम्हाला ज्योतिषाची जी काही विविध साधन सामग्री आहे त्याची चित्रे इथे स्पष्ट होतात. Now let's see what happened after this. The next part of the lesson is focusing on appearance of an astrologer. की आपल्या या लेसनचा पुढील भाग हा त्या ॲस्ट्रोलॉजरचं वर्णन आपल्याला सांगत आहे. The writer said that his forehead was resplendent, means it was bright, dazzling and impressive with sacred ash and vermilion. की तो जो काही ज्योतिषी आहे त्याचं फोरहेड, त्याचं कपाळ हे खूपच तेजस्वी दिसत आहे आणि त्याच्या कपाळावरती त्याने भस्म लावलेलं आहे आणि त्याचबरोबर शेंदूर देखील फासलेला आहे. His eyes sparkled with a sharp abnormal gleam, which was really an outcome of a continual searching look for customers. And there was such a kind of sparkle in his eyes, and his eyes are searching for a customer. की त्याच्या डोळ्यामध्ये एक विलक्षण अशी चमक आहे आणि त्याची नजर सतत ग्राहकांना शोधत आहे. But which his simple clients took to be prophetic light and felt comforted, and people were looking towards him as a best astrologer, and they were attracted towards him. की त्याच्या संपूर्ण व्यक्तिमत्वामध्ये भविष्यवेत्याचे तेज जाणवत आहे आणि ग्राहकांना तो त्याच्याकडे आकर्षित देखील करत आहे. The power of his eyes was considerably enhanced, means it was increased by their position placed as they were between the painted forehead and the dark whiskers which streamed down his cheeks. So you know that his eyes are sparkling and he was searching for customers. His forehead was painted with that vermilion and sacred ash, and he was having dark whiskers, and that whiskers is streamed down his cheeks. की हा जो काही ज्योतिषी आहे त्याच्या डोळ्यामध्ये एक विलक्षण चमक आहे आणि तो सतत ग्राहकांना शोधत आहे. त्याच्या संपूर्ण व्यक्तिमत्वामध्ये भविष्यवेत्याचे तेज जाणवत आहे. त्याचे कपाळ संपूर्णपणे रंगवलेले आहे आणि त्याचबरोबर त्याच्या गालावरती दाट मिशा पसरलेल्या आहेत. Even half-wit's eyes would sparkle in such a setting. To crown the effect, he wound a saffron-colored turban around his head. And this person, this astrologer, was searching for his customer, and he had also wore a saffron colored turban on his head. की त्याच्या डोळ्यांमध्ये एक विलक्षण तेज जाणवत आहे आणि त्याचबरोबर त्याने नारंगी रंगाचा फेटा देखील बांधलेला आहे. So this color scheme never failed, and people were attracted to him as bees are attracted to cosmos or dahlia stalks. So due to his appearance and his different equipments and his sparkling eyes, people were attracting towards him, just as if you know that bees get attracted towards the flowers. की जशा मधमाशा या फुलांकडे आकर्षित होतात तशाच प्रकारे या ॲस्ट्रॉलॉजरच्या म्हणजेच ज्योतिषाच्या एकूणच व्यक्तिमत्वामुळे लोक त्याच्याकडे सहजपणे आकर्षित होत असत. So in this way students, with the help of this video, we discussed about the title of our first lesson. Then we discussed about some information regarding the writer of this lesson, and we also focused on the opening of our lesson. So the title of this lesson is An Astrologer's Day. It was written by R.K. Narayan, a world famous Indian writer. And this lesson deals with the story of an astrologer. And in the beginning of this lesson, the writer is focusing on the appearance of the astrologer. This astrologer was spreading his equipments in front of him, and at the same time the writer explained about his physical appearance, and the customers, they are getting attracted towards him easily due to his personality as an astrologer. So thank you my dear students. Just keep in mind about this discussion. We will continue our discussion regarding the remaining part of the lesson in our next video. So keep your watching and keep your learning.